So here is an example about torsion. For the solution of this example, we will be focusing on satisfying what is required in item C, D, and E. So before any computation on as to the spacing of stirrups based on torsion, we need to satisfy this relationship that the square root of this quantity VU divided by PWD squared plus TU times P sub H divided by 1.7 A sub OH squared shall be equal or less than this quantity phi multiplied by VC divided by BWD plus 0.66 times the square root of FC prime. So we need to determine the variables in this relationship. First is D. Effective depth D is 500 minus 65. This will give us 435 mm. Okay, so we also need to determine P sub H. P sub H is the perimeter of the perimeter of the outer stirrups measured center to center of this stirrup. So we have this cross section is equal to 400 mm, whereas the overall depth is 500 mm. Yeah. And then the concrete cover is 40 mm and the diameter of the stirrup is 12 mm. Okay, so it is this distance that we need to determine. Center to center of the outer stirrups. In this case, we only have one configuration of the stirrup. Okay, so this is 40 mm and this is 12 mm. Okay, so this measurement would be equal to 500 minus twice of 40 minus twice of, since if this is 12, from this to that we'll be considering the half of this, so 6 and 6 minus twice of 6 and 6. So this will give us 408 mm, while this will give us 308 mm. And so the perimeter would be twice 408 plus twice 308. This will be equal to 1432 mm. Okay. So we now have to determine A sub OH. A sub OH is the area of this measurement, or the area center to center of the stirrups. So it is simply 408 multiplied by 308. It will be equal to 125 664 mm squared. Okay. So aside from this, we need to determine VC. So VC is 1 over 6 multiplied by lambda, the square root of FC prime BWD. Okay. So VC 1 over 6, a factor of 1, since there is no mention of the unit weight of the concrete, hence we assume it to be normal weight concrete. Hence, this is equal to a factor of 1. So square root of 20.7 times 400 times 435. This will give us a value of 131,942.0327 newtons. Okay, so then we substitute these values to the relationship for us to determine if the cross section is adequate. So square root of VU is 250 kilonewtons. 250. We'll be making this in newtons, so that if we'll divide it with unit of mm and mm, that is 400 and 435, the resulting unit would be megapascal. So we squared this, by the way. So plus TU is 30. So we make it 30,000. So 30,000 Newton meter. Again, we multiply 1,000 so that the resulting unit will become Newton millimeter. So that millimeter will cancel out with the unit of other variables such as pH and AOH. So pH is equal to 1,432 divided by 1.7 of AOH, 125,664. We square this further, and then we further square this. The resulting unit of this term is actually equal to megapascal also. So it is consistent with the first term. And this will be equal to 2.15 megapascal. Now, for the right equation of this relationship, that is phi, or 0.75. 0.75 of Vc, which is 131. 942.0327 divided by BWD. So we have 435. Okay, plus 0.66 multiplied by the square root of 20.7. So this will give us 2.82 megapascal. Take note that the unit here is megapascal as well as on the other term. So we can then say that the relationship is satisfied, that the left side of the equation is 2.15 megapascal is really less than 2.82 megapascal. Hence, the cross section is adequate. Okay. So, having satisfied the check for cross-section adequacy, that is 2.15 being less than 2.82, we now need to compare TU with the threshold torsion. So, TU. TU, and then phi, threshold torsion. If this equation is satisfied, or relationship is satisfied, then a reinforcement for torsion is necessary. The threshold torsion TTH is equal to 1 over 12 multiplied by lambda times the square root of FC prime ACP squared divided by PCP. Okay. ACP is the cross-section, the outer cross-section of the dimension, and PCP is the perimeter of the same dimension. So 1 over 12 times 1 is square root of 20.7 multiplied by this quantity. So the cross section is 400 by 500. This needs to be squared divided by twice of 400 plus twice of 500. This is the perimeter. Okay. So this will give us a value of 8.425 kilonewton meter. Multiplying this with 0.75, this will be equal to 6.32 kilonewton meter. So again, this is satisfied. TU is greater than phi TTH. TU is 30 kilonewton meter. While this quantity is 6.32 kilonewton meter. Hence, torsion reinforcement is required. We now equate TU with phi Tn. Tn is equal to 280 AO FYT cotangent theta divided by S. AO is equal to 0.85 AOH. So this is 0.85. AOH was previously sold as 125664. 125664. This will then be equal to 106,814.4 mm squared. Okay. So then you have 30,000 Newton meter divided by 0.75 equal to 280 divided by S multiplied by AO, which is 106,814.4 times 275 as the yield strength of the stirrups. 275 times cotangent of 45 degrees. Okay, so we'll get a value of 80 divided by S equal to 0.6809 mm squared. Noting that 80 is the cross-sectional area of one leg of the stirrup, then we have pi over 4 12 squared divided by S equal to 0.6809. This will give us a value of S equal to 166.5 0.106 mm. This spacing will be compared with the minimum required by the code. We have pH over 8 or 300 mm. pH over 8 is pH is 1432. So 1432 divided by 8. This is 179 mm. So the spacing is the lesser of the two values. So we have 166. Now, focusing our attention to satisfying the requirement of item D, that is the spacing of stirrups based on combined shear and torsion. We'll then have this relationship. We have AV plus 280 divided by S. We have to determine the values of this expression. We can get AV over S from shear, because this term refers to shear, while the second expression refers to torsion. So for shear, we'll get it from this equation. S equals AV FYT multiplied by D divided by VS, from which we have AV divided by S equal to VS divided by FYT multiplied by D. Hence, we need to determine the value of VS. Okay. So, from shear, VS is equal to VU divided by V minus VC. And so VS, VU is 250. So 250 divided by 0.75 minus VC. Here, 131.942. 131.942 kilonewtons. This will give us 201.391 kilonewtons. Then substituting this here, we then have AV over S equal to 201.391 times 10 raised to the third power divided by 275 times 10 raised to 6 multiplied by 0.435. Okay, the resulting unit from here is mm squared divided by mm. We'll get a value of 1.6835 mm squared divided by mm. Whereas the value of 80 over s is equal to, as previously determined, as 0.6809 mm squared divided by mm. Hence, the value of the expression AV plus 280 over S is equal to 1.6835 plus twice of 0.6809. This is equal to 3.045 mm squared divided by mm. Now we check this spacing with the minimum requirements as per NSCP. So we say the minimum transverse reinforcement per mm length it will be the greater of the following: 0.062 times the square root of fc prime pw over fyt and 0.35 pw over fyt. So substituting the values, we have 0.062, 20.7, 400 divided by 275. This will give us 0.410 mm squared divided by mm, whereas 0.35 400 divided by 275 will give us 0.509 mm squared per mm. So it is 0.509, the greater between the two. However, we still have to compare this value with the earlier determined value, which is 3.045. Hence, we use 3.045 as the equation or the value at which we solve S. Okay. So the spacing, if there is a combination of shear and torsion, would be 148.55 millimeter. And now finally, we need to satisfy the requirement of item E, that is the additional area of longitudinal reinforcement due to torsion. And the equation to solve for that will be A sub L equal to T sub H, the yield strength of the stirrup, 80 multiplied by the square of cotangent theta divided by Fy S. Okay. So the values of each of the variables in this equation is already determined earlier. We have P sub H as 1432 mm multiplied by 275 megapascal. We have 80 over S, earlier determined as 0.6809, 0.6809, and then cotangent squared of 45 degrees divided by Fy 415. Now this will give us AL as equal to 646.09 mm squared. Now we are to compare this value with those of the minimum. There are actually two expressions for this value to compare with, and the following expressions are: we have 0.42 square root of FC prime ACP divided by Fy minus 80 over S multiplied by P sub H, then Fyt divided by Fy. Substituting the values, we have 0.42, 20.7, ACP is 400 by 500 divided by 415 minus minus 0.6809 times 1432 275 divided by 415. This will give us 274.815 mm squared. Whereas the other expression is 0.42 square root of FC prime ACP divided by FY minus 0.175 BW divided by FYT. This is further multiplied by PH and FYT divided by FY. Okay, substituting the values, we have 0.42 square root of 20.7, 400 by 500 divided by 415 minus 0.175 by 400 divided by 275. Okay, multiplied by 1432 multiplied by 275 divided by 415. This will give us 679.366 mm squared. So it is 274.815. That is lesser between these two values. And this lesser value will be compared with the earlier determined value of A sub L, which is 646.09. Hence, the number of additional longitudinal reinforcement to resist torsion would be 646.09 divided by pi over 4 12 squared. This is something like 5.713, say 6 pieces. Okay, this will be the number of longitudinal reinforcement if the longitudinal reinforcement is of diameter 12 mm. Okay,